Yes, people, we are back and we are live. Welcome back to 12th Man. A little bit of a different setup today. I've come to the parents to see them. And I thought, I haven't really done a reaction to the Arteta press conference, so I kind of need to. So I thought that I'd go live and see what you guys are saying. Very interesting words, to be honest, said in a certain sort of way, in my opinion, about what Mikel Arteta has said, about how happy he is so far, about who is here on tour, who's looking good in tour. We're going to be talking a little about who the people are that's gone. We're going to be looking, of course, at his thoughts on the transfer window, the players that are still potentially yet to come in, which is very interesting. And we're going to be talking about Viktor Gyokeres, who is still not an Arsenal player. Some very interesting news that I've been hearing in the last 20 hours or so about what is happening with that deal. Why is it stalling? Who is responsible for it? A lot of people are blaming Sporting Lisbon. From what I'm hearing, I think it's Arsenal that are to blame here, people. We're going to get into why. Big up to everybody that's in the chat. Big up to Chris Hudson in the chat. Always good to see you, Chris. Big up to Chaitanya. Big up to Carol. Big up to Mum. Big up to all of you moderators in there. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit subscribe, people. We're going to be getting into it tonight. So please make sure you sit back, lock in, like and subscribe and enjoy. We're getting very close to 50K, which is incredible. So please make sure that you do hit those like buttons and hit subscribe. They're absolutely free. In the corner, you will see the QR code. Make sure you scan it. Make sure that you are part of Match Bingo. It is the course, the Women's Euros. We've got pre-season underway and we've got the football season literally just around the corner. So please make sure that you are part of Match Bingo. All you've got to do is click on the link in the live chat in the description or just scan the QR code. Great to see so many regulars in the chat. And of course, welcome if you are new. Please hit the subscribe button. Okay, where do we start? I think we need to start with the Mikel Arteta press conference. We'll then go into the Gyokeres stuff, which is incredibly interesting. And we're going to go into a topic that I saw today on Twitter, which yet again points to the lack of ambition by Mr. Stanley and Joshua Kroenke. More on that to come. So please sit back, relax, and let's go through what has been a very interesting press conference from Mikel Arteta. Now, I mean, he was all smiles, as he always is. He looks refreshed and ready to be here on pre-season. Let's go through what the questions were that were asked, and let's go through some of his answers. He's spoken to the media for the first time this season, shortly after arriving in Singapore at the start of course, the Asian tour. All of the guys are out there from AFTV. We've got Robbie, we've got Lee, we've got Cecil, Turkish, James. I think Curtis is out there as well. Lots of people gone out there for the tour. If I'm honest with you, it was not my plans, and I'm quite glad that I haven't gone out there, to be honest, because if I'm brutally honest, we're seeing last year's squad plus Zubamendi. Kepa and Norgard will be there. No Madweki, no new striker, no new attacker, no new creative midfielder. No, thank you. Let's watch it from afar and, of course, hope that we do well. So let's go through what was said and the reactions. The manager hosted a press conference at the Singapore National Stadium ahead of facing AC Milan on Wednesday. So that's this Wednesday. We will be playing them. He was asked about training in Singapore and the state of the squad, how the new players are settling in, and the potential for further signings and more. He said, "We are super excited to be here. It's been an incredible welcome from our supporters here. They're so passionate. We're adapting as well to the context, the weather. We weren't able to train this morning, so we have to adapt to those situations as well." Apparently, they weren't able to train because of bad weather. Apparently, it was like hurricanes and not hurricanes. What am I talking about? Thunderstorms is the most what I'm looking at. Bad weather, weren't able to do so. 3 of the 4 summer signings have travelled with the group. Norgard, Kepa, and Zubamendi are all part of the squad. Noni Madueke will join training after his short break following his switch from Chelsea. And Mikel said the new arrivals have all added a fresh impetus to pre-season. So pretty positive so far. Weren't able to train, of course, because of the bad weather. But other than that, all pretty good. He said it's like shaking the tree again and bringing in new faces. Bit of a strange term to use, but fair play. I suppose I get what he means. There are some new faces, not as many as we'd like, and certainly not in the positions that we'd like, but certainly there is new faces. They bring new excitement, a new energy, and we signed very important players as well. Again, everybody feels like their height has to go to a different level, and that's what we're seeking. Ideally, you want transfers done on day 1 in pre-season. We've done very, very well so far. I'm very pleased with the way the club's supporting the necessities and improvements that we required in the team. Andrea Berta and the team have done an excellent job as well, trying to push everything forward. There's still a long time to go in that window. We have a lot of hope that we can still improve the team. We're going to continue to try to do that. Now, this needs breaking down, people, not because there's a lot there, just because some of that is complete and utter waffle. I've got to be honest with you. And I'm normally pretty good for what Mikel Arteta says in press conferences, but of late, towards the back end of the season, it was absolutely crazy. And it seems to have been continuing here. There is a few paragraphs there, can I even call them paragraphs? A few sentences there that I do not understand how you can actually be believing that what you're saying is true. It is absolutely crazy. So I find it bizarre that that's what he's saying. And look, we could get breaking news, Gyokeres to Arsenal right now. It could happen, right? But I've got to be honest. I look at it and I think what he's saying there, I have to question. Okay, let's go through it. He's basically saying, bringing in new faces, which we have, whether you're happy with the signings. He's talking the truth there. We've brought in new faces. They bring new excitement. Not sure about that. New energy, hopefully. We signed very important players. Now, I would not say that we have signed very important players yet. I think that we've signed players that we potentially need for squad depth. But if you're telling me that Kepa and Norgard are incredibly important players, then I'm questioning your outlook. Zubamendi, I would agree, would be an important player, but we already knew we'd had him back in January. That was an easy one to do. He says that everybody feels like their height has to go to a different level, and that's what we're now seeking. So what he's trying to say there is that these players are coming in to take your places. Now, everybody in their right minds knows that Norgard and Kepa aren't getting any first-team football. Everybody knows that as long as Saka is fit, that Madueke isn't playing unless we start him on the left. Zubamendi is the only one so far that improves this first 11. Period. He says, ideally, you want transfers done on day one in pre-season. Yes, ideally, that would be nice. However, that has not happened, Mikel. And a lot of the Arsenal fans are frustrated that that's not happened. And it should have happened, in my opinion. We should have had important players first, priority signings, and it hasn't happened. So there's a frustration there, I must say. However, what I find bizarre is that he says we've done very, very well so far. Now, if I was to be honest with you, I would not say that we've done very, very well so far. I would say that we've improved the first 11 by one and that we've brought in a couple of backups that are hardly going to play. Doing very, very well, in my opinion, is getting a striker in, an attacker in, a winger in, and then Zubamendi in. That would be, for me, doing very, very well. Now, don't get me wrong. I'd still say potentially we might need the Madueke signing on top of that, or a backup for Saka. I'd be saying potentially with Jorginho gone, we might need to look to replace him. And then Norgard might have come in after that. And then you look towards Mosquera and, of course, Kepa and think, yeah, I can understand why we're looking at these. But at least we got our priorities right. We've got the striker, we've got the attacker, we've got the winger. They've all gone to pre-season. And the 3 or 4 others that we might want to do in the next coming weeks will get done and they'll be backing up. And I'll be going, yeah, we have done very, very well. Andrea Berta's come in. Things are now different. It's looking very lively. But unfortunately, it's not happened. We have gone into pre-season with Havertz and Marino as our 2 strikers, people. That's what we've done. And he believes that we've done very, very well so far. He says he's very pleased with the way that the club's supporting the necessities and improvements that we required in the team. Now, what is a necessity? Kepa or Gyokeres? What is a necessity? Eze and Rodrigo or Norgard and Mosquera? Who's closer to getting done? So I wouldn't say it's necessity to go and get Mosquera and Kepa over the line ASAP. I wouldn't say it's a necessity to ensure that Norgard and Madueke are prioritised ahead of a centre-forward and a starting attacking midfielder. But that's what we've done. He says that Andrea Berta and the team have done an excellent job so far. I think they've still got a lot to prove, personally, because I still don't see a striker at the club. We've definitely not improved any of our attack whatsoever. And that's the area of the team that we were all told was needed. He says that they've been trying to push everything forward. I mean, crikey. They've been trying to push this forward, and I've been linked with Gyokeres now for about 9 days, and we're no closer to signing him, from what we understand. There's still a long time to go in that window. We have a lot of hope that we can still improve the team, and we're going to continue to try to do that. Okay, so some of that is complete and utter waffle, if I'm honest. I think he's trying to appease what the people and staff around him have done. Says that the boss wouldn't be drawn on specifics of potential new signings, but did suggest further additions are being worked on. He said there's still a long time in the window. That's all we hear. Patience, there's still ages to go. And we're seeking in terms of numbers, we're short. We have to improve the depth and the quality of the squad. We're constantly looking in the market, but until that happens, I can focus on the players that we actually have, work with them, and I'm very pleased with what I've seen so far in the first 10 to 15 days. Mikel was also asked to reflect on the last visit to Singapore representing the club when he captained the side in 2015. He said, it's a great story. 10 years ago, I wasn't expecting to be sitting where I am. A lot's happened. I have great memories for the first time that we had 10 years ago here. Hopefully we can replicate that, train in the manner that we want, commercially as well, send the message and connection we want to the supporters, and we have to perform in matches, do that and win the games. Okay, so that's basically a nice little, yep, I'm back. I'm now the manager. 10 years ago was great. Let's try and win as many games as we can. But previously to that, he said that we're constantly looking in the market. But in the last 10 to 15 days, he's been really happy with what he's seen. He does say, though, that we are short and we have to improve the depth and quality of the squad. So that means more players are coming in. However, the last time he said that was in January and nothing happened. So there is always a chance that Arsenal, being Arsenal, might not decide they need to do any more business. But it looks like, according to Mikel Arteta, they're probably going to. He says, our supporters here are very passionate already. They're very excited to see the team. They haven't seen the team for a while. So live it and connect with them. As well as immersing in the culture, we try to understand the way they feel about us and make them proud. That's the objective. Okay, so he's mentioned the fans there, which is always nice. We play AC Milan and Newcastle while in Singapore before ending our Asian tour against Spurs. Now, there was actually a question in relation to Thomas Partey, which I didn't really want to say too much about. And if I'm honest with you, Mikel handled it pretty well, to be honest, and said that, we dealt with the process absolutely right. And then he just moved on. So I don't think there's much more to say about that. Thomas Partey's gone. Thomas Partey's no longer an Arsenal player, and Mikel Arteta has already brought in Zubamendi and Norgard. So I just think now it's best to just move on from that. I understand why people might still have questions, and I think it's fair for the journalists to ask that, but I don't think they should be going on about that now. I think let's move on away from that. He basically said that the lawyers said that it was all good, the process was fine, and there's no issues there at all as far as Arsenal are concerned. So, yeah. But look, rival fans will all say that Arsenal were scum and all this because of what happened to Partey. I don't want to get into that. We don't know the ins and outs yet. But I'm sure one day things will come to fruition on that. Okay, big up to everyone that's here. We've got 870 of you in chat. Let's make sure we hit the like button. Make sure we hit subscribe. We've only, at the moment, got 115 likes, which is nowhere near enough. So let's get that up to 500 likes, people. I believe in you. It is a free button. Please press like and subscribe together. They are both free. And they mean so much. So please, that would be really good. So look, I don't think he is saying that there is no more signings coming. I don't think he's saying that there's going to be a number that he puts on it. It looks now like Mikel Arteta has accepted that we are still short in depth. I don't think anybody can say that we're not. Right now, if the window was to shut, we would be short. And we would be short at the back. We would be short in midfield and we would be short in attack. So really, there's only the goalkeeper department that we look to have completed now with Raya and Kepa. We still need another centre-half, and it looks like it's going to be Mosquera. We still need another attacking midfielder, and we're all praying that it's going to be Eze. We still need another left winger, and we believe that Rodrigo is the guy that we all want. And we still need a striker, and we all want it to be Gyokeres. Now, of course, there was rumours today in relation to Isak, saying that he might be interested in Liverpool. He might be unsettled. I did a stream on it with Pete, the Newcastle fan from Loaded Mag. Make sure you go and check that one out. Really interesting to get his thoughts on Alexander Isak's future, which he is now a little bit worried about. If they end up getting Isak, honestly, guys, if they end up getting Isak, I don't want to say I'd admit to defeat. I don't want to wave the white flags. But that is going to be incredibly difficult to beat Liverpool if they get him. Liverpool, by the way, I'm hearing unbelievable things about, by the way, because they're looking to sell Harvey Elliott, Darwin Nunez, and Luis Diaz, and obviously Chiesa, who looks like he's going. And I'm hearing they can afford Alexander Isak already. On top of those sales and Ekitike coming in, they're favourites to go for Rodrigo as well. So they could end up with Rodrigo and Ekitike, or Rodrigo, Ekitike, and Isak. Could you imagine if they end up their window like that? Sorry, man, but that is just ridiculous. I can't see them getting both. I don't think they're getting Ekitike, Isak and Rodrigo. But Liverpool, I'm sorry. They're the ones to catch, man, at the moment for me. They're clearly going to be favourites to win, if I'm honest. Chelsea, at the moment, pretty quick, aren't they, with their business? I know they need a goalkeeper and a centre-half, and they're looking at another winger. Rodrigo apparently is on their radar too. But if I'm honest with you, Chelsea, they've done quite well. I like Liam Delap. João Pedro is a very good signing. Gittins is going to come in and, I think, be a project player, but one that's highly rated. They've got a kind of set, balanced midfield now. So they're going to be looking at trying to get ahead of us and leapfrog us. Newcastle, Villa and the other guys at the moment, United and Spurs playing catch-up. All of them are trying to fight into some form of European place, but at the moment don't really look like they've improved their squad enough. But Manchester City and Liverpool are looking like they're definitely going to be in a title race. Arsenal, you'd imagine, will be. We obviously have to make sure that we get that. But then, of course, you've got Manchester City and Chelsea that are going to expect to be in a title race as well. Now, I saw some rumours today linking Xavi Simons with Arsenal and Chelsea. It looks like Chelsea have got the breakthrough with that. I just pray that we get Eze now, because if we don't get Eze and they get Xavi Simons, that's actually a really good signing for them. Now, I don't know if they really can afford to play all of these guys, if I'm honest. I think Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto are definitely on the right-hand side. They've got Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo. They've obviously got Jamie Gittins and João Pedro. They're looking to get another left winger, from what we understand. Yeah, Chelsea aren't messing about. So now, we've got to be honest. Are we in serious business here? Are Arsenal being left behind? Well, one thing that we all want to know is, when are we signing Viktor Gyokeres? When is it happening, people? I don't know. I've got to be honest, I don't know. I'd love to be able to tell you there's breaking news that Viktor Gyokeres is coming. But I haven't got any breaking news. There's none from Romano. There's none from Ornstein. There's none from Sammy Mockbell or Ben Jacobs. Unfortunately, it looks like we're just going to have to be patient. And people keep telling me, Sporting Lisbon are mucking around. It's Sporting Lisbon that are the problem. Well, I found out some information last night, and it's been confirmed, and it's now out in the public domain. And it's us that are mucking around, it seems. Now, I don't know how true people want to believe this, but the resource that I've got is not this one. People might think this is not very reliable. However, the source I got last night was incredibly reliable, and it's now been backed up by Duncan Castles today on Twitter. And this is the latest. Viktor Gyokeres to Arsenal. Arsenal have offered 63.5 million euros plus 10 million euros as well. There's no offer from Manchester United, which is good, because obviously we need to be just solely focused on Arsenal. Sporting want 2.5 mil for Gyokeres in the first 20 games. They want 2.5 mil in his first 40 games for Arsenal, and 2.5 mil in his first 60 games for Arsenal. And they want 2.5 million euros if Arsenal qualify for the Champions League. Okay? So we're talking about sort of another 10 million euros there, basically, or just shy of. That's going to be wanted by Sporting Lisbon. Arsenal are unhappy with this bonus structure, and they want to pay a fixed fee in 4 instalments. What the hell is going on here? Sporting want an extra 1.2 million for that. Gyokeres is exchanging legal letters with Sporting, and further details and analysis are on today's podcast. This is crazy, right? Is anyone just bored and stunned and just shocked by this nonsense? Why are we fixated with installments? Question number one. Why are we in a bidding war for the sake of between 7 to 10 million euros? Oh, that might have a knock-on effect for who we can buy next time. Well, you go up to your owner and you say, hang on a minute, mate. I've got to get Viktor Gyokeres, Mr. Joshua Kroenke, and I've got to get Eze, and I want to put an ambitious offer in for Rodrigo. If the answer is you ain't got the money for that, then the Kroenkes are the issue, aren't they? Yeah? Because that is not something that you should be stalling over. When you get a player negotiated down to that price, who, by the way, had a release clause in the summer of 100 million euros, which is 84 million pounds. We're putting in a bid of 63 million euros, with 10 million euros on top of that. And Sporting want it as 2.5 when he hits 20 games, 2.5 when he hits 40, 2.5 when he hits 60. And then if we qualify for the Champions League, which are normal add-ons, really. If you're qualified for the Champions League, if you score amount of goals, if you win a trophy, these are all add-ons that should be part of it. They just want 2.5 mil every time he's hitting a milestone of 20 games. Only when he gets to 60 games. And we're unhappy with it because we want to pay the fee in 4 installments. What is this about installments all the time? I understand we're not the only team to do installments, right? But you've got to ask yourself, why are we so fixated with this? Why could we not just go and pay up? Those add-ons are not disgraceful from Sporting. Sporting are not asking for every goal that he scores, we owe them 5 million. Sporting are not asking that if we qualify for the Champions League, we owe them 10 million. Sporting are not saying that if he plays 50 games for Arsenal, we owe them 30 million pounds. They're not asking for a release clause, a buyback clause. They're not asking for a percentage of his sell-ons. They are just saying, we would like a bit of money when he hits the following milestones. And we're mucking around. Nah, we don't want that. What is going on here? This is why we're holding this up. It ain't Sporting. Sporting are saying this is the price and these are the add-ons we want with it. And we're going, oh, I don't know if I fancy that. We'll give you some fixed fee. Okay, then what's the fixed fee? Well, we're going to do it over 4 installments. No. This is the price. We did this with Ben White. It took forever with Ben White. Do you remember? They want 50 million. Edu goes, we'll give you 40. No, 50. 41. No, 50. What about 42? No, 50. 45? No, 50. All right, we'll have to give you 50. Like, come on, man. What are we doing here? Why are we scrimping and saving? But with Madueke, it's like, excuse me, Chelsea, do you want Noni Madueke? Yeah, you can have him for 52 mil. Here. Explain that to me. Kai Havertz, previous summer. How much is he? Yeah, we were thinking of getting rid of him for 65, but here. Oh, 65? Yeah, they are. Have it. Get him in. What are we doing, man? But when it's a striker that we need, no, we've got to haggle around. We've got to try and get it right. But with Havertz, who we didn't need as a priority, he walks straight in. Madueke, not a priority, waltzes straight in. What is it with Chelsea? Do we owe him money or something? Is there a loan we don't know about? Is there actually a loan that we're not sure about that we own Chelsea? Because I'm sorry, but the amount of times that we have bought their players, buying 8 players in the last 7 years, what is happening? But when it comes to the actual striker that we need, unfortunately, we need to prat around and start dicking about with business. Let's try and scrimp and save 2.5 million euros a piece here. This is brilliant. And this is the problem we've got with Andrea Berta, by the way. He's still got a lot to prove here. Don't think that just because he's walked in with a great CV that I'm now thinking this guy's the Messiah. He's got to prove himself just like everybody else has. His CV looks very good, but I'm not impressed by him right now. Are you? I see people saying, I'm so glad we've got Andrea Berta. We're so lucky that things are different now. What's different? We're still taking an age to sign anyone. Unless it's a Chelsea player, Kepa, Madueke, or a backup Brentford player who could not believe when he answered the phone and it was Arsenal trying to sign him. Well, what's happening here? Zubimendi was done before Andrea Berta. I do believe, personally, that Viktor Gyokeres is a massive, massive part of Andrea Berta's responsibility and plans. I do think he allowed us to be manoeuvred towards Viktor Gyokeres when Sesko wasn't happening. But I've got to ask the question, how much does Mikel Arteta want Viktor Gyokeres? Not how much does he want a number 9, because that's been answered in the chat yesterday, the day before, that people don't actually believe that he wants a number 9 because he's happy with Havertz and Jesus. And it would make serious good conversation and debate if Havertz and Jesus were both firing on all cylinders and fit. Would we even be going for Gyokeres? It just doesn't seem like this is a priority for the club, because it seems like we've got right. The priority here is let's get a backup goalkeeper signed because Neto's out the door. Not, we might keep Cole Hine. No, let's get a backup goalkeeper. That's the first signing we need to make. Zubamendi's going to come at some point, but we better not announce that till the 1st of July because we want to keep good relationships with Sociedad. Let's get in that backup for Jorginho because don't worry about the striker yet. Let's get this Norgard in. Let's get him in. Right, can we go to the striker? And strikers last, mate. We need that Chelsea winger. Who's that lad? Are you sure? Yep, let's get him in. Striker, not bothered by that. Let's get this Madueke in. Right, cool. Right, with this striker, I'm not interested in a striker. Get that defender from Valencia. Like, what are we doing here, man? What are we doing? This needs to happen. Now, people are saying, oh, you're losing your head about this. No, we're not. We're concerned that it's taking this long. Why is it? People are bored. They're frustrated. Some are angry. Some have had enough. And unfortunately, people who think this is Andrea Berta, I've got a question where you're at. Because as much as he's got stuff to prove, and I've just had a big rant about this situation, Edu, Hus Fahmy, Raul Sanlehi, Richard Garlick, Jason Ato, were all the same. Because was it Berta's fault that it took 7 weeks to sign Marino? Was it Berta that was trying to muck around with Bologna, with Calafiori? Was it Berta that was trying to sort the release clause out for Thomas Partey? Was it Berta that was trying to get a fee with Declan Rice for weeks? This has been happening for a long time. And the common denominator is Stan and Joshua Kroenke. Now, I'm not saying that everything is on the Kroenkes. The reason I put my fingers of blame towards them is because they're the ones running the damn club. And people that say they don't run it, it's run by, and give me another name on the board, well, like Tim Lewis or Richard Garlick now, or was it Vinay Venkatesham before? They've put them in charge. If I run a business, I am responsible for it. If I move for 6 months and look after another business and I leave it in the hands of somebody, who is responsible? Me, because I've left them in charge of it. So the people that say to me it does not have any blame for Stan and Josh Kroenke if things go wrong, I'm sorry, it does. They have employed them. So then let's take a look at what else has been said today. And this one is why I don't quite understand why the Kroenkes the Kroenkes are getting away with it again. Now, if this is true, this proves everything that I already knew about the problem with this football club. And it isn't just Mikel Arteta. So according to Miguel Delaney, the Kroenkes prefer Arsenal to be fully responsible with no risk of PSR concerns. Mikel Arteta has strongly and successfully argued to push the budget out this summer. So we've got owners that are quite happy to just get their striker in, it seems, and just go, right, there we go. Are you happy with that? Go win the league. Luckily, Mikel Arteta is saying, hang on a minute, whoa. He ain't done after Gyokeres. We need more players and more money. So Arteta's basically had a chat with them and said, we're going to need more funds. We're going to need to spend this more money. We're going to need to do X, Y, Z. So I don't understand. If this is true, it's contradicting everything that we knew from the start. Because the programme notes have said, we will invest. Joshua Kroenke has come out in the programme and said, Arsenal willing to spend money. Ben Jacobs has done breakdowns. Kieran Maguire has done financial breakdowns. Arsenal have 300 million plus to spend this summer if they want to. No PSR problems. Now, all of a sudden, we're being told, yeah, PSR, if we keep spending, we're going to breach it. If Miguel Delaney is correct, by the way. So they're saying, well, we prefer Arsenal to be responsible. We don't want any risk of PSR. And Arteta's saying, hang on a minute, we need to spend because we ain't done. This team is not ready to win the league. Gyokeres has got to come in. Mosquera's got to come in. But then on top of that, Eze's got to come in at the bare minimum. And for me, it has to be a Rodrigo type after that as well. And if it isn't a Rodrigo, we're going to have to push for Lookman, who looks like he's going to Inter Milan, or Rafael Leao, who's wanted by other clubs. Because there ain't any other left wingers out there other than Semenyo from Bournemouth or Mitoma from Brighton that we could go in for. So, sorry, I don't think we're getting Rodrigo. However, that's the only thing that can top this window to say, wow, Arsenal have had a window that looks as close to Liverpool's as they could. Because Liverpool ain't mucking around, people. Yeah? Liverpool are not mucking around. Let me tell you that. So that's where I'm at. The Kroenkes, they need to be held accountable if this summer does not go the way that it is. Because people that say it's Mikel Arteta, yeah, he has a say on signings and he has the final say. But he's not the one with the money, is he? He's not feeding himself 400 million to spend. That comes from the Kroenkes. So that's where we're at. Let's do these super chats. Chaitanya says, watch Havertz start as number 9 versus United. I laugh, but I nervously laugh because it wouldn't surprise me. I will say this. If Gyokeres comes in, he'll start against United. If he comes in late, and I'm talking in the next month, we still don't see him, then of course, Kai Havertz will be starting. And if he is starting, the club have failed miserably. In my opinion, they've already failed because they should have had one for this pre-season tour. But because they got in there again with an unfit Kai Havertz who just come back from after his hamstring hanging off his bone, and Marino, a central midfielder that's been playing up front for us, we now don't have a centre forward. It is absolutely mad. But this is the Arsenal, people. Not the Arsenal I grew up on, but this is the Arsenal. Danny says, Dan, you more like concerns about Gyokeres not being on the tour, or you feel the deal could collapse? I'm super convinced we get him. Do I think he'll be on tour, or do I feel the deal will collapse? I think we'll get him. I think that's what you mean, bro. Big up to you, Danny. I appreciate the super chat, mate. No, I think we're going to get him. I don't know when, but I think we're going to get him. And I think he will come out at some point of the tour. Maybe he comes out to Hong Kong. Maybe he goes to the Emirates Cup. I've no idea. But for me, we need him. And we need him big time. So I feel like we are in a position now where we have to be realistic. And we have to hope that we get this over the line ASAP. That's for sure. Big up to you, Danny. I don't think it will collapse. I think we'll get it done. He-Man says, Dan, the more time we waste, the less time the striker has pre-season and gels with the team, and the more likely Havertz starts the first game against Manua. Facts. Look, I've got to be honest with you. People that keep saying to me, why are you so stressed about him having to play in the first game? It's not about him having to play in the first game. This isn't like, well, we better get Gyokeres in because we ain't winning without him. Are people dumb? No. That is not what we want. We do not want Gyokeres to come in so that he can play against AC Milan and we go, oh, we've done it. Right. Send him back. We want him to come in early so he can gel, as He-Man has said, into the team, start scoring goals, start bonding with the team, start learning how he play, start finding his feet, start becoming comfortable, start understanding the tactics and the understanding of the players around him, get to know the players around him, understand the culture of Arsenal, understand what it's like to wear the shirt, understand what it's like to play under Mikel Arteta. And these things take time. Because what can then happen is you get to a scenario where he comes in, say, late August, and you're going, cool, by the time we hit December, he might be looking pretty good. I want him done now. I want him in now. This is the problem. And we haven't got him. Oh, I'm not bothered that he isn't playing pre-season. What's the point of having pre-season then? We might as well just not bother. If we're going to bring him in for the, Emirates Cup, let's just leave it. Wait until then. If we don't need to worry until we play Manchester United at Old Trafford, let's bring him in then. Get him in the day before, let him do his medical, and he can come and get 10 minutes at Old Trafford. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? What is wrong with these people? Honestly, the amount of people I see that are just like, oh, and what's hilarious, I said this on Saeed's channel, and I'll say it again because I'll call them out because I do not care. They call me out enough. I have so many people. Oh, calm down. Go and enjoy your summer. Go and get yourself a nice holiday, Dan. Go and take a break in the swimming pool. Go and and then the minute we do nothing, their 5G goes down and they're swimming. When we sign someone, they're on the blower. See, I thought you were having a swim, mate. I thought you were off for the summer. What do you care about? And then nothing happens. All this Gyokeres stuff goes quiet. They must be back in the swimming pool. Their 5G must be down. They must be going and lying on the beach. Honestly, like these people, I do not understand how they can be so passionate and hungry about the club and sit there like that. What a response that is, mate. Do you know what I mean? Some of these people need to chill out and go and lie on the beach. My God. Yeah, because that'll help, won't it? That'll help us get a striker. That's for sure. Do not understand these people, unfortunately. We got 1.4K in here. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Those two buttons are free. We've only got 284 likes. That means there's over 1,000 of you that have not hit the like button yet. Come on, people. If you do like the content and you appreciate what I do, that really will make things easier for me for this channel to grow. We need to get to 50K pretty quickly. We hit 47K last night. We really do want to get to 48 pretty quickly, but long term, of course, is the 50K. I would love to get it by the time we get to Old Trafford. I know that's a bit of an ask, but I believe in you guys. So if we can get 50K by the start of the season, I think that would be an unbelievable target. Maybe we have to wait till September or October, but I have faith in you guys that we can get us there. Mods, get everybody to hit like and subscribe, please. That would be amazing. If you can, follow Match Bingo as well. If you do want to play tomorrow night, is the England women's game, women's Euros you can play. My mum actually won money the other day. That's brilliant. And it's really good. 150 quid you can get as a bonus. 350 you can get also. Please use the code POTS and you will get discount as well. So big up to every single one of you guys that are playing Match Bingo and all the Arsenal fans that have won, because you are now top of the leaders board. We've got Arsenal, Liverpool and Newcastle as a top three. So make sure that you are playing. There we go. Newman says, I play real bingo, no match bingo. To be honest with you, Newman, play both, because match bingo is a hell of a lot easier. It does it automatically for you, mate. And I know that you'll be sitting there with your feet up chilling, so it'll be even easier for you, mate. So make sure you do it. Okay, let's see what else is being spoken about before we close on the AFC stuff. Where are we? Okay, cool. So I'm on a different computer today, so it's taking me a little bit longer with this window, so apologies, people. Okay, what else have we got? Okay, Graham Bailey has had his say on the Viktor Gyokeres stuff, and if I'm honest with you, it's no huge update. He says that Arsenal are so far down the line with Gyokeres, it really is just the finer details. Well, we've seen from Duncan Castles what the finer details are. It's add-ons, which are quite pathetic, if I'm honest, that Arsenal are mucking around with, not Sporting Lisbon. This time last week, they thought it was the done deal, and they could not imagine it running to this weekend. This weekend, we're on Monday. Arsenal are staying calm. I need to emphasise that. They admit some deals are just easier than others. Isn't that hilarious? Some are easier than others. Clearly, Madueke took a day. We've seen Ekitike take 2 days, and Gyokeres has taken 2 weeks. In terms of the player, I'm told Gyokeres himself is frustrated and he wants to be with Arsenal now. He wants to be with his new teammates. That's being spoken about by Graham Bailey. Look, TBR Football, I think it's clear that Viktor Gyokeres wants to come, right? I think it's fairly clear that he wants to be an Arsenal player. There's nobody that I know that is saying that he's looking at other clubs. It is literally just us. Let's just go and get him. Please go and get him, Arsenal. Sick and tired of talking about it. It'll get to a point where it's a here we go and he signs and everyone will be like, oh, well, it's boring now. We knew it was happening. We've got to try to remain excited for this one, because this is a massive signing for me. And guess what? New merch. Woo! And it made me laugh because on their website it said, something exciting is coming. Oh my God, something exciting is coming. Not Gyokeres in the shirt, as people believed. Some of these idiots on Twitter and X were going, I know what's going to happen. The new kit is going to be launched and Viktor Gyokeres is going to come out in it. What is this, WWE? No, it's not. Like, that is not going to happen. It's absolutely mad. Some of the people that we get on these apps are unbelievable. Declan Rice says that he loves the look of our new away kit. I don't. I want it to be yellow and blue. Why are we playing in a Chelsea kit? Can't wait to wear it for the first time in front of our supporters here in Singapore. So they're going to be wearing it against AC Milan and against Newcastle, which is confirmed here. We're wearing it for the first 2 matches against Milan on the 23rd of July, which is Wednesday, and Newcastle on the 27th of July. So enjoy that one. And there it is. It's kind of supposed to look a little bit similar, I think, to the 95-96 JVC kit, which had the kind of lightning bolt down it. But it's different colour slightly. If I'm honest with you, I said it last night, I'll say it again. Third kit, black and gold. Away kit, yellow and blue. Home kit, red and white. Done. Every year. That's what it should be. That's what it should be, in my opinion. Some people disagree. Okay. Enough of the new shirt. I think we said enough of that. Where are we? This was interesting. Mikel Arteta was explaining Arsenal's transfer dealings with Chelsea. He said the reason we buy Chelsea players is probably because they have some great players and a lot of players. And we try to focus on the players we want to sign, regardless of the club they're in. Now, I'm sorry, but there is no way I can be looking at that and believing that they have is great players. There is absolutely no way you can tell me Sterling and Willian were great players at Arsenal. Check. David Luiz, Gallas even, Lassana Diarra, Yossi Benayoun, and now we've got Jorginho, Havertz, Kepa, and of course Madueke to add to it as well. No, absolutely not. I can't deal with that at all. Arteta spoken on Gabriel's fitness. He says that he played 45 minutes against Watford on Saturday, looks in good shape. Saliba as well. We missed a lot of players at the end of the season, but they all look to be in the right direction and to be fit. Now, this is something this season I do not want to hear any excuses about. We got injuries. Yeah, we did that last year. What have we done about it this year? Well, we brought in a couple more players. Right, but not enough. So we're injured again and we got no fit. I'm not having that as an excuse. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Saka. I don't care if it's Saliba. I don't care if it's Ødegaard. If they go down, I do not want to hear, well, that's it. Another season without a trophy because we can't do anything without these players. No, sorry. Not going to wash with me anymore. Injuries are not an excuse. That's what you have a squad for. Arteta was asked on whether the club are on schedule. He says, I'm very pleased. That's what I'll say. There's a lot of parties and things to bear in mind to get over the line, but I'm very hopeful that we're going to do it very soon. That's summer signings. So he's obviously talking about Gyokeres there. On having signings on new tour, says, ideally you want it on day one. I think we've done very well so far, and we heard about that one. Obviously, he's spoken about Calafiori. Says it's a big season for him. He looks very excited. We know one of the biggest things we have to achieve this season is availability. If it's true the two main injuries he had were on international duty, these things can happen. Look, he's got a big season ahead of him because he's got a lot to prove. A £40 million signing that was brought in with, I thought, a little bit of confusion and question marks. Everybody wanted him in Europe, we were told. He was a brilliant defender. He's going to be one of the best you see. Well, he's got to show that. I don't really think he's got a position at Arsenal yet. He's been playing left back and he only looks good going forward. And he's been playing at centre-back for the Newcastle game at home where I thought he looked half decent. But every attribute he's got has been good going forward. He scored 2 brilliant goals against Wolves and Manchester City. And if I'm honest with you, I'm not too sure that I've seen enough from him. He looks like another Bologna defender we had that got injured in Tomiyasu. So let's hope that he does not continue to get injuries like that. This was what he said about Thomas Partey. I think the club was very clear in their statement. There are a lot of legal matters. I cannot comment. He was asked, did you feel confident that the club followed all the right processes? He said 100%. Looking at the academy players, he said they've the opportunity and the window is open. Whoever knocks hard and kicks that door down, we're going to have games now and we'll have the opportunity to see some of them. So it's up to them. Let me know who you're looking forward to seeing in the pre-season in terms of the young players coming through. Because for me, Ethan and Lewis-Skelly got an unbelievable opportunity last season. And I don't think they could anticipate what was going to be happening to them in the coming months, particularly Miles Lewis-Skelly getting a call up for Arsenal, club, country, debut goal, and to be playing against PSG and Real Madrid. Ethan likewise got 10 goals in his first season as a 17-year-old. Who are we looking forward to seeing? Max Dowman for me, absolutely 100%. Is there any other players you're looking at and you're thinking, let's see what this guy's about? Because there has been some others that have been called up, of course, but everyone's talking Dowman. Everybody's saying Dowman. I can see why. The guy looks special. 15 years old. I saw him playing at 13, 14. I've never seen anyone as good as that at that age. Doesn't mean he's going to go and be a Messi or a Lamine Yamal even, but it certainly does mean that he's got potential to be something special. And I do believe there's a chance for us to see him in pre-season. Keaton says he's looking forward to seeing Andre Harriman-Anus. That's another player that's just been brought into the mix. So highly rated. We've got another young lad called Kieran Thompson, who I think, or Kyron Thompson, I think it is. Yeah, Kyron Thompson. He's highly rated as well. to be fair. So we have got some players for sure. That's going to be, coming through the ranks. So let's see what happens. Okay. Arteta on signing to Mendy said it was a long process. We had a lot of opportunities to decide whether we wanted to come. And the good news is that this club's amazing. Everyone wants to come to it. He left some very good opportunities to come to us too. I think he's talking about Real Madrid there. I genuinely do think that the Spain clubs wanted him, but I don't think that there was any real guarantee that he was going to be playing first team football for him. So he's come to Arsenal. And I think he bought into the project from what we understand. So we have to be, congratulating Arsenal for getting that one across the line, of course, if he is the player that we all dream that he is. So I'm interested to see him in pre-season, actually. That's one player I am interested to see, that's for sure. Arteta spoke on Gyokeres. He said, I can't comment on any player that is not part of our group yet. There's still a long time in the window, and we are seeking to add. In terms of numbers, we are short, and we have to improve depth and quality. That, for me, is quite key as well, because if you look at me, what I've skipped over there is the most important part of that. And there's one word. It says, I cannot comment on any player. Okay, it's not in that one. I can't comment on any player that isn't part of our group. Yep, that's fine. He says, I cannot comment on any player that is not part of our group yet. The word yet, to me, is vital. I think it's happening. But when? We want to know when. And we saw from Gabriel that he had his chat at his interview, and he's excited for some of the players. So that's where we're at, people. As things stand, no Gyokeres, no Mosquera. I believe Mosquera's done because we see a picture of him leaked. So that will be announced at some point. Not quite sure why that hasn't been yet. Obviously, Madueke's announced, but he's not going to be joining, I don't think, until Hong Kong, because he's going to have a bit of a rest from the Club World Cup with Chelsea. And then, of course, we've got Viktor Gyokeres, who's dying to come to Arsenal. There's been rumours that he's moving house. There's been rumours that he's split with his missus. There's rumours that he's left Portugal. There's rumours that he doesn't want to play for Sporting that much, that he has said, I don't want my salary for £2 million euros. I do not want to go to pre-season tour with you. I want Arsenal so bad. My dad's crying. I'm following Arsenal. I'm following Instagram and Twitter and everything. Please. And unfortunately, we still don't have him. So we're going to have to relax on this one a bit. I think it will get done. I'm pretty sure. However, I don't know when. If it doesn't get done and we let this one drop, I think it will be one of the worst bits of business we've ever done. And who do we go and get? Let's just be real. We ain't getting Sesko. If we don't get Gyokeres, Osimhen's gone to Galatasaray. Julian Alvarez isn't available. Isak's going nowhere. It means we're going to be stuck with either Ollie Watkins or Mateta. I don't want either of them. Nicholas Jackson, someone's put in the chat. Oh, my God, could you imagine? It's going to be Viktor Gyokeres, people. It is. We've just got to be realistic with it. So, yeah, it's crazy, to be honest. I was asked the other day, would you rather have Gyokeres and Eze, or would you rather have Isak? And then I was asked, would you rather have Isak and Rodrigo? No, would you rather have Gyokeres and Rodrigo or Isak and Eze? I hate stuff like that because it's not realistic, is it? We're not going to be getting either of those. A lot of people want Isak because he's Premier League proven. A lot of people want Eze because he's Premier League proven. I think Rodrigo and Gyokeres are definitely unproven in the Premier League, but there's certainly players that are absolutely thriving. Rodrigo, for me, looks like a marquee signing for someone. I think he is going to go on the move. Gyokeres, I just pray, but I do think he's going to bang. Isak clearly would. Eze, I think, will. And I still think that we could get Eze. So that's where I'm at. Listen, people, hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're going to end it there. Look, please do try to remain relaxed. I know it's difficult. I appreciate it's hard. I'm no good with it either. But I think we are going to get it. So Gyokeres is the one I'm expecting. Big up to everyone that's here. Make sure you are following Match Bingo. Get it scanned. Everyone's playing it. Everyone's winning. Play Match Bingo, as Newman said. Make sure you're using the card, of course. Card? I mean the code, which is, of course, POTS. So make sure that you are doing that so you get your discount. But to be fair, you can put a fiver on and play, and it gives you automatic cards. Good luck for tomorrow night's game with the Women's Euros. I know a lot of people talk about that. They're playing Match Bingo while the England game's on. So please make sure that you enjoy that. Go and play Match Bingo and use the code for discount POTS. And I've got to be honest with you, I really am surprised and shocked at how many people are winning on Match Bingo. So big up to you guys. Hit like and subscribe. Let's get to 50K and we'll see you next time. We're out of here, people. Laters.